Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about food blanching by me and my friend Halida. Okay, first of all, food blanching is where the food or vegetables were heated for a certain time and then rapidly cooled it in running or ice water. This process is usually done before any further processing like freezing, canning or drying of these foods. Before that, we must peel or wash the food as needed for more efficiency during process. The purpose of food blanching is to inactivate the natural enzymes of the food, removing the trapped air, modifying the texture of the food, and preserving the color, flavor, and the fruit's nutritional values. This is the example of browning of an apple due to the enzymatic activity compared to the fresh apple below. Blanching also helps in packaging as it wilts the vegetables and removes the gases. Besides, remove the foreign materials such as dirt and helps in peeling. It also lowers about 90% of the microbial load. The theory of blanching is that the maximum processing temperature in freezing and dehydration is actually not enough to inactivate the enzymes, causing undesirable changes during storage, while canning in large cans might allow enzyme activity to take place. The heat is sufficient to disrupt the tissues and release enzymes, but not inactivate them, while only some enzymes may be destroyed. Blanching time is important and it depends on a few factors, which are the type of foods, size of the pieces of food, blanching temperature, and the heating method. However, insufficient blanching or underblanching can cause quicker food damage due to the activation of the enzyme and tissue disruption without inactivate them because of the heat. There is no residual of peroxidase activity. It means that the other enzymes are also destroyed as peroxidase is more heat resistant, this will indicate the successful blanching.
For the equipment in blanching, we have two commission methods. First, we use atmosphere saturated steam, and second, use hot water. Both of equipment is simple and non-expensive equipment. For example, microwave blanching is not used as a commercial equipment on a large scale. In steam blancher, in general, it prefers to the method for food with a large area. As cut surface as a latching losses are more simple than those found using in hot water blanchers. And if a simple steam blancher consists of mesh conveyor belts that carry food through a steam atmosphere in a tunnel. For the advantage and limitations of a conventional steam and hot water blanchers, for the first equipment we have a conventional steam blanchers. Advantage is a smaller loss of water-soluble component and smaller volume of a waste and a lower disposal charge. For the limitation in a conventional steam blancher, which have a limited screening of the food, so washers also required. For the second equipment, which is a conventional hot water blanchers, for the advantage, have a lower capital cost and better energy efficiency than a steam blancher. For the limitation, higher cost in a purchase of a water and for the hot water blanchers, there are a number of different designs of blancher, each of the which hold the food in a hot water at the 70 to the 100 degrees Celsius for a specific time, and then it remove it to the dewatering cooling sections. In the use of a real blancher, food enter a slowly rotating in a cylinder mesh drum which is partly submerged in hot water. Next, we move to the effects of blanching on a food. First, when the heat received by a food during the blanching, it can cause some change in sensory and nutrition quality in a food. But the heat treatment is less than several than, for example, in heat sterilizations, and the resulting change in a food quality are less can be pronounced. In a general, for the time temperature can combination used for the blanching is a comparison which is ensure the enzyme inactive but the prevent excessive softening and a loss of flavor in the food. For the nutrients, some mineral, which is a water-soluble vitamin and other water-soluble component, can lose during the blanching process. Loss of the vitamin are due because the blanching, thermal distractions, and the laser extent, and finally in a oxidation process. When the extent of a vitamin loss depends on a number of factors including the maturity of the foods and variety, method used in a preparation of food, for example in a cutting, slicing, and dicing. For the color and flavors, in a blanching, it can brighten the color of some foods by remove air and dust off the surface, and it can automatically alter the wavelength of a reflected light. For example, the times and temperature in a blanching also influence the change in a food pigment according the D value. For example, in green vegetable, sodium carbonate or calcium oxide are often used to the blanch water to protect the chlorophyll and to retain the color of a green vegetable. For the structure, one the purpose of the blanching is to soften the texture of food such as a vegetable to facilitate fillings into the container prior to the canning. After that, calcium chloride 1 until 2% is added to the blanching water to form a soluble calcium peptide to maintain fairness in a tissue of food.
That's all from us. Thank you.